I'm in a real good mood right now, and I'm glad that I can share that with you. I'm coming to you live, high definition flip camera. A friend of ours bought us a nice camera. You know who you are. We appreciate that a lot. You wanted to stay anonymous, so therefore you have, but we do appreciate it. This is great. High definition. I'm like, oh my God, now they can see all the lines on my face. A little bit more neurosis from Dan the Man. That's all good though, because you guys have been so kind to me with all your praises. We're talking about 98% love and about 2% hate. That's a good balance. Can you dig it? This is like the coolest YouTube channel out there where there's just hardly any negativity, you know, because I don't act like a jerk probably. Too much. Anyways, I got a recipe for you here, and I'm making it actually for my breakfast tomorrow. Because I'm in the lodge here, so I'm making my dinner next, and I'll make a video of that. But I'm going to make my my breakfast for tomorrow, which is going to be apple, carrot, lemon, ginger, and fennel. Just something nice to get me going. I'm going to take a nice long walk tomorrow. I just got back from the gym, so I'll tell you about that in a minute when I make dinner video. But anyways, let's get started on this juice. And then we can rap a little bit about some really cool stuff. I'm hella inspired, and I hope you are too, to feed yourself some nutrients. Amen, baby. Let's talk about that in a second. Playing with the angle. So. Need a napkin? Lemon. Ginger. Fennel, baby. Top just a little bit, but that's okay. Put a lid on here. Cram that foam down in there. Now, isn't that just gorgeous? Make a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. Rinse her off. And I'll put her in the fridge right over here for a minute or two. Till I can get going. But anyways, okay, what did all those foods have in common? Thanks for letting me do that part there. All those foods, my friends, had nutrients in them. So, what are we going to do if we want to have more beautiful hair? That's right, my friends. We got to feed the hair nutrients, okay? So, what are we going to do if we want to have really good vision? That's right, baby. Feed the eyes nutrients. Where do the nutrients come from? From the living raw foods. Okay? What do we want to do if we want to have beautiful skin? Look at Danny in high definition. We're going to feed it nutrients. Living, vital, dynamic nutrients. Like carrots and cilantro for tonight's dinner. Okay? Now this is a twofold thing, and I wanted to share with this because I saw some videos earlier, and then I thought I'd give my own little twist on it, okay? First of all, we want to feed the cells nutrients, right? From the raw, living, vibrating, electrical, water-filled fruits, vegetables, and herbs, right? And some good essential fatty acids and soaked nuts, avocados, hemp is a really good source of fatty acids, okay? Not too many fatty acids though, but sometimes you can have more than others. Out in the cold, when I have a nice big fat meal for dinner the night before I know I'm going out to the mountain, I can have a little bit of sugar in the morning, and all that fat in my system burns up just like a nice fat bunch of Presto logs, basically, okay? Otherwise, the fruit sugars is like kindling, you know, and you can keep the fire burning real hot with the kindling, with the easily digestible sugars. And I want to encourage people to use those simple sugars when it's appropriate, okay? And I want to encourage you to use fat when it's appropriate, a little bit more fat in the wintertime, okay? Now, back to what I was saying about the nutrients. First of all, we've got tons and miles and miles and miles of little tiny hair-thin capillaries and veins, okay? Tiny little capillaries, and all the blood flows through these tiny little capillaries and delivers nutrients to the hair, to the eyes, to the teeth even. That's a big one, because here's a good point for everyone to realize, is that we always talk about teeth from the outside, but what we don't realize is that the blood vessels, the blood vessels and capillaries that feed the root of the teeth are very, very hair thin. Okay, so this is one of the main problems in the standard American, or just the basic human dietary, really, and that's why raw foods is so cool, because the tiny hair-like capillaries, that's why you see the older ladies with the blue veins and stuff, it's all clogged up. What clogs it up? You know what it is. Way too many animal products, way too many complex starchy carbohydrates, way too much Crisco in the Twinkies, and just overall acidosis and foreign elements that the body has to use cholesterol to buffer, and then surrounds it with cholesterol and tries to protect the body from all these foreign crazy stuff. And I can't even get into where all these acids and foreign matter is coming in. It's everywhere. And that's why we got to be smart about the food we eat, because sometimes we don't have a choice about the air we breathe, and we have enough of a job to do when we're eating really high water raw fruits and vegetables to detoxify and eliminate acids, okay? So the capillaries are fine, hair thin, okay? So like I was going to say, twofold. We got to get the blood flowing through those tiny, thin, little blood vessels. That's why people lose their eyesight. That's why people's hair gets thinner as they get older. That's why people don't have that vitality in their skin, because those tiny little hair-like capillaries are clogged up with the cholesterol, the mucus. I could go into it a lot more, but I'm just going to give you the general gist. We're plugged up. And what's going to dissolve the accumulations in those microfilaments that are tiny little hair-like capillaries? That's right, water. Fresh water, okay? Also the water and the antioxidants and the astringent and the scrubbing type materials. I think citrus fruits are really good to scrub. It's like soap. It's almost like a detergent for your tiny little capillaries. So a lot of times we eat these heavy, overcooked, way too much fat, too much animal products, and cooked, high heated, in the deep fried, and then those capillaries and veins get clogged up. So today's video is about feeding the hair, feeding the eyes, feeding the skin, feeding the bones, feeding the teeth, feeding the fingernails, and feeding all the blood organs in throughout the whole system, the GI tract. You want that blood to flow through those hair-thin capillaries, baby. So lots of water, less heavy stuff, more high-water fruits and vegetables, baby. Not too much fat, some fat. You need some fat. I'll go into that in another video maybe, but right now you want to get those blood-like, those little micro-thin hairs opened up and cleaned up by eliminating the stuff that's going to clog you up, and then you get on the raw foods and you get the nutrient-dense greens like cilantro and kale, and you get those fruit sugars and all those nutrients, and you deliver those to your cells, and you become alive, fully alive, so alive you don't even know what to do with yourself. This is Dan the Man with the Master Plan, asking you to subscribe on YouTube, friend me on Facebook, friend me on YouTube, and shop in our Amazon store, because we like that a lot. Thank you very much.